He tucked that ball away, lowered his head, and boom, end zone.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Tonight, we begin Week 8 with a good matchup for you here between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Going to do a bootleg. Here's Corral. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now, this defense for the Lions, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
To throw again on second down. Corral. He'll go right back to Tunyon. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Vikings sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. On 3rd down, Corral. Well, throw for Pittman is intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And the Lions are going to take over here up near the 40. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Here's Corral. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm up QB2. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Corral looking to pass, 2nd down. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he will have a Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run the draw here with Swift. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. They've got his man complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. extra point by Seibert up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. This time, good ball security and a good result. 1st and 10.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. "46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
And Randy, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Off play action. Here's Corral. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Corral. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 40. 23 yards to pick up there.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Down to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. Oh, what a move. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
First down, here's the run with Cook. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Second and 12. They run the counter with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. 3rd and long. Corral. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards. They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with career touchdown number 70. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On 2nd and 15 now. Goff. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
And I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Returnable now for Allen. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. On second down, here's Corral. Setting up the screen for Cook. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. A final shot before the half for Corral. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Offense ready to kick off their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a toss for Swift left side. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a play fake, and it's gone. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pick. Six yards.
First down, Detroit.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. This is Swift on the counter. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operated.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Brian Burns, the one to bring him down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion, they would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is. And they
he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he loses the football a second time. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Goff. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Vikings are going to get the football back at their own 17.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's personal or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action, Corral. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Corral. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert. Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackled for just a short gain.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. They'll go option to the short side. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL.
they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. They'll try the middle with Cook. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 80 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Switching it up, Corral will throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Cook up the gut. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Corral on 3rd and goal. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Michael Pittman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 30 on 2nd down, Goff. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, time, it's certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
And you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Badgley's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. To throw is Goff. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a 1st down.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the 1st down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach and probably his agent, too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Slot man moves right. And they'll send the slot in motion left. That one looks like he'll throw here.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
A great move in there, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
Going for it on 4th down. Corral.
On the move to his left, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach.
And now here's another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Vikings are going to take
possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be the last points of the game?
No, I would want to